Hello everyone, how you going? And welcome to 9 things not to do in Australia. Now, I just want to know what I shouldn't be doing and what I should be doing, and hopefully this guy's just going to let me in on it. I would certainly hope that I wouldn't be doing any of these things, but hey, I guess we'll find out. So let's just see what he's got.
Australia is a vast country with a myriad of natural wonders, metropolitan cities, and unique wildlife.
Yes, in fact, I'm going there next week.
Ooh.
So I put another shrimp on the barbie.
Don't say put another shrimp on the barbie.
There we go. I mean, at least this video is what not to do.
This slogan was part of a 1980s ad campaign featuring Paul Hogan.
Yeah, I'll slip an extra shrimp on the barbie for you.
Oh, man.
Targeting an American audience to come to Australia.
Yes, I mean, I guess it makes sense, and I can understand why it was used, but I wonder, and I've always wondered what Paul Hogan kind of thought about that line, because surely the conversation would have been had, or just someone would have been going, well, I understand why we should say shrimp in terms of just, okay, the Americans need to know what we're talking about. I don't know what the UK uses, but either way, we do want to be attracting an international audience, so I guess this is the word we have to use. But either way, I just wonder if the conversation was ever had and you're going, I guess we should say this, but really it just pains me to say it.
Aussies actually call them prawns.
Yes, there we
Put
go.
another prawn on the barbie.
It doesn't really sound the same because no one would ever say that.
I'm going to visit Sydney, Perth, and then Darwin, I think.
Sydney, Perth, and Darwin. Wow, that's
Don't
a long way. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Australia is so big that England can almost fit inside it 60 times.
Hey, look at that. Here we go. I want to take this back to 60 times. Man, that's an incredible stat. Honestly, I wonder. And really, we can see that it's not just 60 times. If that is 60 times, we're really looking at about 120 times because look at the amount of gaps there are through all these places. And so, yes, as he said, absolutely do not underestimate the size. Really, I think everyone should just think about it the same size as the US, because anything besides that, you know, Canada, the US, Brazil, China, any one of the big countries is just going to be virtually, you know, all in the ballpark of the same size that we are. And so, yeah, considering the fact that Tasmania is almost probably the same land size as the UK, or I guess Great Britain, you really don't want to be underestimating it, because that is just like the little nothingness at the bottom.
Apart from the long hauls through unforgiving desert, even the more populated routes can take longer to get to than you think.
Oh yeah, you got a couple of thousand Ks.
Sure. Just don't take beach safety signs lightly.
Gotcha. So it's safe to surf, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know a single person in the UK that would ever go, yeah, I know how to surf. Where do you learn to surf in the UK? I would love to know, because when I think of the UK beaches, if you can even call them that, I mean, I guess maybe down south with Brighton, you have a few sandy beaches. But other than that, I just think of like pebble bays where there's just no waves. And so, yeah, I would just love to know, where do you learn to surf in the UK? Do you just travel so much that you go, oh, you know, I'm just going to Spain, or I'm going to other parts of Europe, and that's where you learn, or what?
But don't surf without knowing the etiquette.
Oh, fair enough.
For example, the person closest to the peak of the break has the right to ride it.
I want to know where they got all this information from.
Paddle outside of the zone where a lineup of surfers might be coming at you.
Fair enough.
Secure your leg rope, and don't be a wave hog. So where else are you planning on visiting?
Yeah, wait one sec. I mean, yeah, all those things kind of make sense. So it's kind of just, I don't know, the same kind of etiquette you'd be experiencing if you were just walking down the street, you know. Don't take up the entire footpath. Don't, I don't know, just be swinging your surfboard around your back, and, you know, in terms of his leg rope, it's like, don't just have a dog off a lead, which, you know, might kill someone. So I guess overall, generally, you should just be following the rule of don't be that guy that everyone's going, oh man, I must be a foreigner because I just have no idea, or they obviously have no idea what they're doing.
Thinking of going to Ayers Rock.
Ooh, Ayers Rock, Uluru, lovely.
Yeah,
I've never been there.
No!
Oh, no.
Don't climb Uluru.
No.
The views at the top of the rock are phenomenal,
that must be some pretty old
and it's not a particularly
footage.
difficult 348-metre climb.
Wow, look
Even
at that. I mean, I wish there was a few more
deaths from
pixels.
scaling the rock were mostly heart attacks.
Oh wow.
However, climbing
this
sacred and spiritual monolith
not
is
do
considered
it. It's now
offensive and
illegal.
disrespectful to the local Anangu people. So
it wasn't for a little while, or I don't know. Look, yeah, we can see these photos. I imagine that was the 70s. I don't actually know when they kind of made it illegal, but yes, at least it is now finally recognized as a place where you go. It's a sacred spot where you can certainly not climb it. You can go to it, you can look at it, but there is no way you should ever be climbing it. And people still do. Like, you just go, really, people, why can you not be considerate of just an entire culture and just generally of everyone, to the point where you think it's just going to be alright to just go and climb this massive sacred rock? Like, it's like just going and climbing on people's graves. I don't know. I don't really know what to compare it to, but either way, it is just a no-go.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
But also, I've heard there's plenty of insects and spiders out there, so I've brought a lot of repellent.
Well,
Fair
that's
enough,
good,
in a
but
way.
it's not just insects out there.
Ooh, what's we gonna...
Don't pet the dingoes.
Oh, look at those guys. I want to take this back. I don't think I've ever seen baby dingoes. They almost look as though they have cat fur, but in a dog's body. That is really weird. I mean, they don't look fully like that when they're fully grown, but at the same time, man, like I said, I've never seen baby dingoes before. They are quite something. They really are just like a cat-dog crossing. But no, don't pet the dingoes. I don't think they'd ever really come up to you, though.
But they're basically wild dogs,
look at that.
so don't go
That
petting
certainly
them or
doesn't look the same
encouraging them
anymore.
around your picnic
Oh
site.
no.
So where else are you planning on going?
They just do absolutely look like dogs, don't
Heading
they?
out to Fraser Island.
Oh, heading out to Fraser Island, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
Let's make sure.
don't go to Fraser Island
no.
with an experienced driver.
Oh, with it, wait, did he say an inexperienced?
Don't go to Fraser Island with an experienced driver.
Oh wow, he does say inexperienced, but you barely hear it.
This is a popular thing
Okay,
to do
here
as
we
a
go.
backpacker. However,
How
make
does someone
sure
get
you
that
have an
car stuck, I wanna
experienced
know.
four-wheel drive driver.
Yes.
One of the major roads there is literally sand on the beach.
Yes, look at
so
that.
deflate your tyres and
Yeah.
pay attention to the tides.
Yes.
Don't be the idiot who drives around
no.
Mahino
Oh,
wreck
I
and
was
then
like, what
needs
the hell?
rescuing.
Ooh, that certainly looks very expensive, man, especially it's a Mercedes as well. Jeez, okay, don't be that idiot. I mean, obviously, in doing something like this, there are the obvious ones, like you said, deflate your tires if you're going to be driving on sand. I mean, also have a way to inflate them again if you can, and then, I don't know, just make sure you've got fuel or whatever it may be, just those general ones, but also just make sure you've got maps so you don't get lost. Like you said, you're watching the tides and all those kind of things, the weather, because let's just say it rains and all of a sudden the sand gets really wet, whatever it may be, you definitely have to do a little bit more planning, considering you're just going to be driving on sand or other things that you might, considering you're coming from the UK or wherever else, you might not be used to driving on, which is a whole different kettle of fish comparing on just driving on tarmac. And so yeah, I mean, considering the fact that I can only imagine that no one would ever want to end up like that, especially if it's a hire car, then just do your research basically. I guess that's exactly what this video is for though.
You're not going to be wearing that, are you?
Here we go.
Yeah,
What?
why not?
Roots.
Well, root actually means...
Oh, right.
What?
I mean, but roots
root
doesn't though.
means... No, sorry.
Yes, it does,
What?
but roots doesn't.
Root is actually the Aussie F word.
I mean,
Don't
kind of.
for a team.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you can root for a team and no one would really question you. I mean, because it's all contextual, and also the fact that, like I said, that says roots, not root, and so there is definitely a little bit of a difference there, but at the same time, yeah, it is definitely a good thing to at least know so you don't go, yeah, I don't know, I'm just rooting for this, I'm rooting for that, I root for this, or whatever it may be. You just definitely should know a little bit of the slang in that regard, so you don't kind of catch yourself and other people off guard.
Ask an Aussie which football team they're rooting for,
I
you might
mean,
get some
so-
strange looks.
Oh, come on
One
now.
last thing to know before you go. Don't believe
Oh,
stories of
oh.
drop bears.
I mean, I don't
Drop
know
bear
about this
lore
one.
is legendary down under. These
Yeah?
koala-like creatures
Look
live
at
in
that.
trees and
Man,
drop
I've
down
seen
on
the- I haven't seen the
unsuspecting
baby one
people,
before.
But fear not, there
Oh
is a strong
my
repellent
goodness.
to avoid these horrible beasties.
Oh my
You know what it is?
goodness. Wow, okay, I haven't seen that baby one before. Look at that. That is a creepy thing. Honestly, people think, oh yeah, no, they're koalas. No. They're a completely different killer fish. Do you ever see a koala look that, well, self-explanatory basically? My goodness, what is he going to say about them? Okay.
Just spread a little Vegemite
Ah,
behind
yes,
your ears.
okay, the classic. I mean, I don't really know if that's going to work 100% of the time, considering they are so honed in into tourist and all of those kind of foreign accents. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what the studies say in terms of if you, I don't know, let's say you're speaking Italian or you're speaking an Asian language or whatever it may be. I'm not entirely sure how they behave. But either way, exactly like I said, this legendary myth. I mean, yeah, they certainly have just adopted or just really made themselves this legendary myth, or it's not really a myth. What do you call it? A legendary status. That's the word I'm looking for. And truly, from what we can see here, you can imagine what that grows up into, and then also just the absolute horror stories that I've heard. This is something that should definitely not be taken too lightly. And so yeah, just keep your voice down if you're going to be a tourist just walking around generally, out of the city, everywhere.
Behind your ears.
And hey, that might help kind of reduce your chances
Which
a little
country
bit.
would you like us to do our next
Oh,
video
there we
about?
go. I can only imagine that
Comment
that's going to be
below.
the end. Alrighty then, well that was a nice short video. They certainly covered a whole range of things, and you really, like always with these international videos, you go, I never would have thought about that. Let's say the surfing etiquette, you just go, oh, well of course, it's just like I said, just walking down the street, walking to the shops, just going to the movies. There's etiquette all over the place, and so it makes sense that there's also surfing etiquette. And then also obviously things like climbing Uluru and all those things that people go, oh okay, I never would have known, but thank you for teaching these things. And so yeah, it is an absolutely good thing that they made a completely factual video here. It's great to know that people are actually just looking out for people, UK, American, whatever it may be. You just come over here and just make sure you follow the kind of etiquette and things, 9 things I guess not to do in Australia. And hey, I guess if nothing else, I was certainly hoping that I wouldn't have done any of these things, that I can absolutely guarantee that I haven't done a single one. And so yeah, at least I'm just completely clear and scot-free in that regard. But anyway, in saying that, I reckon I'm going to call it there. So thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to do the YouTube algorithmic things down below. Also, if this is the first video of mine that you were watching, then make sure to check out some of the other ones we've done. You know, we've checked out weird things and strange things and all kinds of things. And then also make sure to check out the original one, which will be in the description. Or hey, maybe even just want to consider subscribing so that you don't miss another one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.